words. Right. That is right. So let's see, what do we got? We have our next coming up. Free pop-up eyeglass clinic, May 15th of this year, over at the Salvation Army with Major Steve Carroll, a good supporter of the show and a good friend and a good brother.
So out of everything we're doing this year, I'm most excited about our free pop-up eye clinic. And anyone can walk off the street, so mark this date down. We'll be giving you a, we'll determine your prescription. We'll have trained professional optometricians in there, and they will determine your what script you need. You'll be able to pick out your frames on site there as well, and then we'll bundle all that up, and in 4 to 6 weeks afterwards, we will deliver you a pair of glasses. There's no means test for this whatsoever, no means test at all, and I think this is great, and what we'd like to do is this annually. Steve Carroll was great. I mentioned this idea to him. He was like, anything the Salvation Army could do, he's going to make his facility available to the professionals we're bringing in, and we hope to get a big turnout. And we're going to be there, like I said, practically the whole day from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So mark this on your calendars, and there'll be more advertisement coming out soon about that. But I'm really excited about this, and this is something that our club wants to do annually in the city of Niagara Falls.
So let me get this right. Somebody can get there and get a free pair of glasses if the need is there.
Yes. Well, we're not going to means test. There's no means tests. So if you need a pair of glasses, you can be looked at by a professional. They figure out what your prescription is. You pick out frames, and we'll be determining that. We're also going to have our eye screening camera there that we take into schools. I could probably talk about that a little bit now.
Yes.
Another thing that the Lions do, and we have a partnership with the Niagara Falls City School System, where we'll go into the school system and we will screen, elementary schools, young kids. I think we go down to pre-K, and because we're GJ Mann, so
right.
Pre-K like to 5, we'll go in there, we'll screen an entire class. And we went through the elementary school, GJ Mann, and a few hours, like 4 or 5 hours. You have a bunch of volunteers. We had 2 cameras. And what it does is it prints out a list for the nurse to review. So we don't know about anything. It's all confidential, HIPAA and all that. But the nurse gets a list that says these kids could have potential issues with their eyes. And the nurse sits down and she meets with the parents to let them know that. And we found in cities like Buffalo and Niagara Falls a high rate of kids, like almost 30%, that would have issues with their eyes, and maybe they're not aware of it. And this is brought to their attention so we can get in there early and they can take corrective action.
Oh, that's a phenomenal program. So I've never heard of something like that. And especially at that age, kids don't know if they're seeing good or not, and they let it go, and it gets worse, and it gets worse, and then, then they start having issues at school. They're not studying, they're not learning. Wow, I mean, did not know these are the things that the Lions clubs do.
And our goal is to get the rest of the schools this year. I mean, it's been a little tougher with COVID. We had to take a year or 2 off. But hopefully we can finish. And again, it's the partner with the school system, this partnering with the nurse, partnering with the individual principals that make that happen.
Well, that's great. And I know Mark Lowry's been very accommodating to doing things, and he's been very proactive about reaching out into the community and to various groups to help a lot of these kids. I mean, we're a poor city, let's face it. And anything we can do to give some of these kids an edge moving forward is something that we have to do. It's just a win-win-win for everybody all the way around. So what else do we have here? Okay, that's a great program, and we'll try to publicize that. Every so often we'll throw those things up on our Facebook page. And let's see. So those are the three events, the three big events you got coming up this year. Were there any other ones, or?
Yeah, there's a couple other things I'd like to touch on.
Yeah.
The one thing that is exciting in the weekend of the 20th, the New York State Lions Association is having their convention in Niagara Falls.
Oh.
And that was pretty exciting. We're bringing in 1,500 Lions from across the state, and the convention will be at the Sheridan and at the Convention Center. So, again, bringing the, folks to Niagara Falls so they understand what we're about here in Niagara Falls.
Now, was that a weekend deal, or is it a week-long deal, or?
Yeah, it's a weekend deal, and you'll have, we have members, as Long Island, Queens, the Bronx, all over the state will be here, and we'll have 1,500 members. And we'll also have the international president as well. So it's a really big deal for New York State. It's a big deal for us. Niagara Falls actually beat out Lake George on this.
Sweet.
So it's good that we're working in the city, but we're also bringing money into the city by bringing this convention in, where folks will they'll get hotel rooms, they'll go out and visit area restaurants. So the Lions have a financial commitment from the state level to put money into the coffers of Niagara Falls, the businesses, and et cetera.
Oh, that's great.
How many people?
1,500.
Maybe they can even take a couple tours here and there,
They may.
Yeah, he's make that towards me. I own a small tour company. So.
I think it's, when something like this happens, I think it's understated that a lot of people, they may not have heard of an organization like this or other volunteer organizations. So when something like this happens, you'll see this influx of people in the city, and people are like, well, where are these people from? How come we've never heard of them? And that's part of the reason why. So it's good that you have platforms like this where an organization such as ours can come in and actually get this type of advertisement and get this out into the general public so people are more aware. So hopefully the end goal is to drive membership and increase the number of hands that you have working towards this common goal.
Well, that's good. That's good. And these are things, you're right, Herb. These are things that people don't know. The times I go downtown, you'll see large groups. It's like, what's going on? What group is here? And, people don't know. They don't hear about it. But, something like this is something that should be publicized. They're here, and this is what they're doing, and this is what the Lions Club's all about.
Well, we send our press releases in, and sometimes they get picked up. I could say that the Niagara Frontier publication is pretty good about printing everything we put out there. Some of the other papers, the Gazette and Buffalo Evening News, they're hit and miss. So a lot of times you can't even get information in there. The other thing I like to talk about is we're partnering again with the town of Niagara, and we're doing a Lions Club Citizen Award for fifth graders. This is something that has been going on for like 70 years. The Niagara Falls Club, the original one, used to do that. And then when the club folded, they handed that over to the town of Niagara, and the town of Niagara graciously kept that going, and now we're going to partner with it. And that's where the school teacher has a criteria that we give them, and they look through, their student body, and then we have an awards dinner at Catholic Academy. We usually have, in the past, we've had the mayor. Hopefully the mayor this year will be the speaker there. And the kids really love it. They get a little reward, a certificate, and they get a meal. Their teachers sometimes come too. They get recognized for the work they do, the example they set in fifth grade. So it's wonderful, reinforcing what they're doing in their classroom.
Yeah,
so another partnership with the school systems that we really love.
And I got to say something on that. I won in fifth grade the Lions Club Citizenship Award, and somewhere in my files, my mother saved everything. I still have that certificate.
Congratulations, you're an alumni. Alumni.
And we had
did that
it
back in the 20s?
Yeah,
That might be
they chiseled them in stone.
That might have been the original club too.
I was in fifth grade, so I would have been.
Dating yourself.
Ooh, wow, yeah.
1925?
11 years old, maybe 12. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. It's
And
original club.
we had the dinner at Niagara Falls High School cafeteria. So wow, that brought back some memories. Yeah, so I'll have to
Did you make
find
the
out.
Lions proud? Did you you were a good citizen? Did you make?
Yeah, I was
Never
good.
got in trouble.
Never got in trouble as a
In
kid.
high school, you never did nothing
Never,
wrong.
never.
You sure?
Never got caught.
Yeah, we could pull that certificate if there's anything you want to
Exactly.
disclose,
That's what I
Dave.
was
You know what I
trying to
mean?
get at. I think maybe they should pull the certificate.
Let me put it this way: thank God Facebook wasn't around then. Maybe. No, I remember that, and I didn't know what the criteria was for it. It was like all of a sudden I get this letter from my teacher, and I was like, oh wow, and so I was like, Mr. Big Stuff at that point, But that's pretty cool.
Did they give it to everybody?
No, there's only one from each. Only one from each fifth grade
One from
class.
each class.
Yeah. And they still do it, huh?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
amazing. I
They still
forgot
do that.
until you mentioned that. I forgot all about that. Now I got to find a certificate. I'm going to post it.
Yeah.
But on a serious note, anytime you guys have any press releases or anything, send them to us. We'll get them up on our various show pages and on our website, which our website should be up and running within the next couple of weeks. And one of our listeners, Lori Jo Pello, won the award in fifth grade also, and she's
Congratulations.
She's a consistent listener. Congratulations, Lori Jo. And she's only a year behind or 2 years behind me, so we were pretty closer to the same time frame. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Wow,
So-
we got like Lions
Celebrities.
Yeah.
Celebrities,
I wasn't here, so that don't count.
But the Lions Club's international. You can do that all over, buddy. So, and then we got you guys got the International Peace Poster contest. I'm getting tongue-tied.
Yeah, and this is a good example of us being all over the place. Like I said earlier, we're the largest service organization in the world with 1.4 members. So each one of these small clubs has a peace poster contest. Well, most of them do.
Yeah, okay. We have age 11, 12, age 11, 12, 13.
Yeah, as of that date. So it's a serious art contest. And what happens is, we'll put it out there to we'll do communications, we'll get artwork. There's tons of rules associated to what the actual poster has to look like. We pick a winner. There's going to be a cash prize. Then it goes to the district level. They pick a winner. You could go to the state level even, and if you win that, you go into the international winner. And the international winners is like a $10,000 prize.
Wow.
And they get flown to whatever international conference. And this time around, it's in Montreal. It's in Quebec.
So how did the Lions Club actually start?
So the Lions Club, you're going to nail me on my trivia here. The Lions Club actually started in Chicago, and it was a round site, and it had to do with, I think it's Helen Keller. Did I get that right? Is she the
believe
site
so,
person?
yeah.
So she's the site person, and what she did was she challenged the Lions to be knights of the site. I'm getting some of that wrong because, I'm not the strongest person when it comes to history. But it did start in Chicago, and it has grown internationally. You go to I was at the international conference, and out of India and some of these other countries, they are just creating club after club after club. We're in Canada. We have sisters clubs in Canada. But locally, we have Town of Niagara, Wheatfield, Youngstown, Wilson, and there's actually 45 clubs in just the 4 counties of Western New York.
That's amazing.
And it's for men and women, right?
Yes, men. There used to be a Lioness Club, which is women only, and there's I think 1 or 2 still hanging on, but it's men and women, and it's Lions Club. It's open to everyone.
Well, that's the same with the Kiwanis. Used to be just men only, and I think back somewhere in the mid '80s they finally let women be part of the Kiwanis Club. And I think with service organizations like that, it's good to have both in there and gives you a little different perspective and different views on things. Especially when you're doing charitable items like that. But now how this I'm going to try to hit your trivia information here again. So I hope I don't mess. How they decide on the logo with the lion?
So the logo of the lion, that has the meaning of that is you're kind of looking behind. So you're looking at your history. That's the lion looking one way, and then you're looking forward, and that's the lion looking forward to what you're going to do in the community. Now, there's like 3 other things about it, and if Regina is listening, she could call in and tell you.
Call in, Regina.
Yeah, she can call in and tell you that because there is history, there's symbolism with that. But the thing that I remember is you have the lion that is looking back, and you have the lion that's looking forward. Those are the things that I remember from that.
How do you become a member?
So membership's pretty easy, but I just want to make sure everyone knows we are a dues-oriented club. So it's not a club you join and not pay dues, because we want people to be involved and make a commitment. So become a member. What usually happens is someone will call me or someone will Facebook us. I'll say, hey, come to a meeting, listen to what we do. This is what we're planning this year. So is this something you're interested in? And some people would come and they'd say, yeah, I'm interested in it. And some people are super busy, so they're not.
Where do you guys meet?
Today we meet at down at St. John's. They have the community place. We partner with the St. John's de La Salle Community Care Pantry. Okay. So you have Lynn Siegfried and Chuck Siegfried over there. We partner with those guys. We do a lot of work with that pantry when they're doing food distributions and stuff like that. So it made sense. We were meeting at the LaSalle Library for a while, downtown library. It made sense for us just to meet there at the school. Lynn's our secretary, and Chuck, I don't know if you know them, he's our first vice president.
Okay, no, the name's not familiar.
But you know the pantry right across St. John's Church.
Yep.
That's the care pantry.
And Patty says here that her Aunt Marie Tyron was a lion in Youngstown, and she won Best Float in the Parade. Is that the, that must be the
Kiwanis Parade that they...
Well, the town of Niagara has a float as well, and it's a Lions float. It's been in the Niagara Falls Memorial Day Parade. It's this big Lions float that they bring out. So I don't know if she's talking about that one, but we do parades. We're going to do the. I don't think we've done the. Have we had a Memorial Day parade since COVID? I'm not sure if we've done it.
Last year, I believe they.
Yeah.
I believe they did the Veterans Day parade.
We haven't since.
So we haven't done that.
I don't remember.
But that's something we'd be interested in doing, like doing parades. It's just the awareness, because we do need members. We have 21 members, great group of folks, very diverse club. But you always need members because you could do more. As you've seen, we have a lot of stuff planned, and that's with 21 people. The more folks you have, there's more. We always say there's more hands to do more work.
Right. And that's amazing, because you guys do have a lot of projects going on. And the last thing you want to do is get burnt out.
Yeah,
because that's where you start losing membership, because it's like, the same 4 guys always doing it, or the same 8 people always doing it. But many hands make for light work. And I think that's for all service organizations right across the board. COVID definitely hurt everybody. All the service organizations, fraternal organizations, COVID hurt everybody. But we sort of have to get back to our roots. To discover why we joined our individual organizations. Yeah. It's to do things to help others within our community. And, we've talked about this on quite a few different shows. Say what you want about Western New York, Niagara County, Erie County. When things need to get done and people need help, people in this community come out and help. And you can't say enough about the big hearts of people within Western New York. It goes without saying. So, anything else about the Lions Club that you want to let us know about?
I would just finish up to say that if you are interested, follow us on Facebook. That's probably the best place you can get information. Again, it's not come join us at an event. You could do that as well. If you're interested in just helping out an event, learning more about us, reach out, and you could do that. Herb and I, we participate in other events, like we did the cleanup. If you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, the cleanup was a community-wide organization. It starts out with the casino, and everybody will meet downtown, and they'll be given their respective assignments. We did from actually just north of this location all the way down to where the preparatory school, Lacell Preparatory School, is located. And so we cleaned up there. It's a good time. We get out. We're visible in the community along with any other volunteer organizations or civic organizations, and you're actually putting the face on what the city can do. And I think a lot of that's lost, particularly when you start to get into the realm of people trying to jockey for power. And unfortunately, a lot of things get lost, and that everybody wants to be known. And this is the one opportunity that you have to be known without knocking anybody else off the proverbial pedestal, if you will. So if everybody's coming together for a common goal and a common cause, then everybody looks good. Nobody has to worry about looking bad because everybody has their own pedestal to shine on.
Right, exactly.
John Fidel said hi to you guys, Rob and Herb. Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, that's and you're talking about you guys are doing the work with the NBC when they do their neighborhood cleanup. Mm-hmm. Yep. Great organization.
So we participate in community stuff like that. So there's a cleanup, we'll participate. But we also want to be able to lead stuff. That's with the pop-up eye clinic and other things like the civics and the bowling. We want to be able to lead things that as well, not just participate, but also lead and help.
Something that'll leave a lasting mark on somebody that's tangible that they can hold in their hands. And the Lions Club did this for me, or I got this through there. They directed me to this, and that's what it's all about. So I'm going to leave it. Herb, any final words before we start wrapping things up here?
I would tell anybody, it doesn't matter what organization it is, whether it's Lions Club, Kiwanis, or any other organization that you feel you can lend a hand to, do so. Especially now we're still in the midst of this pandemic, which is, at least in this area, it seems to be regressing a little bit. People are always looking for something to do. They say there's nothing to do, nobody to do with the shed. And this is one of the ways that we've been able to maintain contact, as Robert pointed out earlier, that makes you feel connected to other people. So even if you're isolated in the house without a lot to do, there was something that we always had weekly to look forward to, so it bound us. So it's like, okay, I'm not completely isolated from the world, even though I may be under a lockdown situation if your respective city or region was. You say, hey, look, I can do this, we can go out and do this, and when this all blows over, and eventually it will, we can get back to the ground running, and we have all these things planned, and we can get back into life as it once was.
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you that the information you guys threw out here today was enlightening. It was eye-opening. And folks, if you're interested, you can always get a hold of Rob or Herb through their Facebook page. If you don't remember where they're at on Facebook, everyone knows you can find me. We're right here at Niagara's Vox. I'm on Facebook. My phone number is always available, and I can get the information over to Rob for you. Dave, any final words before we wrap it up there, buddy?
Yeah, I think in the morning I'm going to just go over to the Toast and Roast. And, where's that at again?
That's at 4823 Saunders Settlement Road, right on Route 31. Open 6:30 to 2 p.m.
They got a great breakfast.
Yes, they do.
And they're going to have a great fish fry.
Yes.
So that's going to be coming too. So if you want breakfast, you go to the Toast and Roast. They're going to have a fish fry coming up. They also have good lunch. By the way, they have lunch too.
They have lunch too, right?
I saw somebody eating some hamburgers the other day. Oh, and the staff is amazing.
Yeah, they got a good bunch of people that work in there.
You want some friendly people, that's where you want to go. Go to the Toast and Roast.
I agree.
Tell them we said hello.
I agree with you there 100%. Well, listen, again, Rob and Herb, thank you for that information. It certainly opened my eyes because I didn't know the Lions Club was involved in everything that you were talking about and what they do. I just was one-dimensional on that. So I do thank you, and please, any information you have, any press releases, make sure, email them over to us. We'll get them up on our site and spread them throughout our viewership and help spread the word on the good work that you guys do. Coming up, folks, at 8:30 is our podcast Glass Roses with Crystal Ann. She is going to be speaking, and this should be interesting. She's going to be speaking to the father of a student, very young student, who was basically told to get off the bus by the bus driver and walk home. And from what I understand, it wasn't even like in front of her house or on the same block. So Crystal will have more information, and the dad will be on here to speak about that. So that should be a very enlightening show, and find out just exactly what happened in the city of Lockport. Also on Friday, Niagara Graffiti with Sean and Tim at 7 p.m. And he's got some information. He's talking to the mayor, I think, of Holland, Michigan, on what they do for their snowplow removal. And remember, tomorrow night at a special time, we will be at Sammy's Pizza broadcasting at 7 p.m. We will have Council Chairman John Spanbauer talking about some things going on in the city, how things are going with his 3 freshman councilmen, and what the direction is for snowplow removal and what's happening, and just a bunch of good things that are going on here in the city of Niagara Falls. So everyone, until tomorrow, have a safe night, sleep tight, and we'll see you at 7 p.m. tomorrow in the evening from Sammy's.
I'll say don't let the bed bugs bite.
I was almost going to say that.
Not these days. Not in Niagara Falls.